friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another Cozy Plant Chores video, kind of the part 2 to my last week's Plant Chores video when I put my Glorious here and did some general rearranging, but this time I actually have like real chores to do. I kind of procrastinated them last week, but I still have my list here, and there's many things on it that I want to actually get done today, like potting some stuff up. I want to chop my Gloriosum, want to take a plant out of the cabinet, prop box reset, and I need to water my cacti because it is the beginning of the month. And so it is time to do all of those fun things, and I thought it'd be fun to bring you with me again. So that is what's happening today. Before I get into the chores, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's get into it. Also, yes, I am wearing the same outfit because it's my pajamas and I want to feel comfortable while doing all of these things, because comfort is key, and if it makes things easier, then I'm gonna do it. So I think I'm going to start with watering the cacti, because that's what's gonna need like the longest sort of wait time, because I have to wait for them to dry out completely. So I think that's where I'm gonna be, and then when we're waiting for those to like dry out and stuff, we can get into some other stuff. So yeah, let's go do that. Actually, also before you can't even see her, before I get into it, one of you asked to see Cleo. And during the last Plant Chores video, she was basically in this exact same spot, doing this exact same thing. So let me show her really quick. This is my baby girl, Cleo. She is fully tucked under the duvet, trying to stay nice and warm. Probably a little bit grumpy that I'm filming her, but that's where she is, that's what she's doing. That's basically where she lives all morning, pretty much, most days. So I've got fertilizer water this time. Sometimes I do just run them under the tap and water them that way. That's what I did last month. But at least every other month I try to fertilize them to make sure that they're getting decent fertilizer, especially the ones that are in semi-hydro, like these guys. They're not getting any natural fertilizer from the soil because they're just in like a non-organic matter, and so I want to make sure that they're getting enough nutrients to continue growing. So if I have them in a container like this, I will just go in and water it and let it pool in the bottom of the container for a little while. Because then they can just soak it up as they desire. And I guess I got lots of these ones also in containers. Oh, you're falling over. I'm not sure how my Euphorbia Ghost is doing. Honestly, I feel like it could be doing a little bit better. One of its like little new growth points decided it wanted to dry out. And I have a feeling it's because it's getting used to its new home. It's in soil just because I wanted to like get it to root properly before I did anything weird with it. And I hope that it likes it. It doesn't look like it's not liking it, aside from that bit of like new growth not coming up. Maybe I need to water this one a little bit more often, just the beginning, because it's not like got tons and tons of roots in the soil. It has a little bit of roots, but not loads. So maybe I need to be a little bit more hydrating with this one, just more frequently, I think. And I'm doing this for even the ones that are in soil, just letting them sit in the fertilizer water for a little bit just to make sure that they get as hydrated as possible. So that's all of the ones that have a cache pot or are in this tray. I didn't water any of the ones from the shelves or the ones that don't have cache pots yet, because I'm gonna let these soak for half an hour and then let them drip dry out before putting the other ones in to make sure that those have water as well. So most of these are hydrated. Don't know if you can see down in there, but there's definitely some water down in there and in here as well, just so they can soak that up for a little while before we switch to the other ones. Just gonna set a 30-minute timer. There we go. And we can do some other stuff in the meantime. I think now would be a good time to do my Philodendron Glorious big chop, because I'm not loving that plant at the minute. Oh my god, this is so heavy. Why is this always so heavy? I'm gonna chop her. So, as you can see, this one is like massively going downwards, which I get because it's living on top of my IKEA cabinet, and that is definitely not the best place for a plant like this. And I definitely don't think it's getting enough light there. And it's kind of, it's not doing it for me. It is not bringing me as much joy as I might want it to. And so I was thinking I would take a top cut and then put it in a smaller trough pot, that's the word. I've had this one, the Delta 10 from Lechuza, for a minute, and I've just never put it together because I have other self-watering crock pots, though I do prefer the Lechuza ones to the other kind of ones that I have. How work? Ah. That how work. There we go. Easy peasy. I love how easy they are to put together. But then once I cut it, I feel like I may as well get rid of the bottom bit, whether that's selling it to someone or swapping it. Because I don't think I need a plant this big. I don't think I want a plant this big, and I'm not liking how it's growing. So But that's all of this is my fault. So I cannot blame anyone but myself. I just need to make sure that where I'm cutting have some roots. I think that does. And then there. Haha. Now I get to figure out how to pull these bits out the soil like that. Not the soil, the semi-hydro. And then I can go in this one in some fresh semi-hydro. So difficult, and that doesn't even look good. That looks so dumb. I'm going to literally pull all of these together and tie them up because I think that looks so bad all spread out like that. No. Spilling rocks on my carpet. Joe's gonna hate that. Oh, okay, well, good. So glad that's worked out. It's just so freaking awkward. Such an awkward plant. I'm really annoyed by it right now. That is so not stable. Call this little guy. And like I said, it's not at all stable, but we are just gonna maybe have to like lean it against a wall or something. Okay, and then this section, it's actually also quite small. Maybe I will put these in a smaller container as well, because this gigantic thing is just too freaking big. Like, it would make sense if I had a bigger home, but I really don't. I have a tiny London flat and not that much big space for something like this. I was basically looking for something like this because I swore I had another one of these, but I guess I must just have two. And this one is currently occupado with a begonia. Oh, is that a spider? Oh my god, that's a spider. Ooh, stab. Oh, it's dead. Okay, we're good. We're good. The spider's dead. It was already dead. Yeah, this one's, I mean, it's not being occupied by something that important though. Not that this plant isn't important. This plant is lovely and I love it a lot. But I mean, this pot doesn't need to be filled. Oh, the third one's got my Synapses in it. Freaking duh. Okay. Yeah, they're all full. That's just gonna have to stay. I don't want to get rid of all of it. Maybe I'll just pot it in like a normal pot. That looks so dumb. But I don't really have any other choice. If I want to get all of those roots in. Okay, fine. Long term, I would never plant a plant like this unless I gave it like a ton of support somehow else. But short term, it will suffice. It doesn't really matter. Do I have another chopstick or something? Oh, I have a little trellis I could put it on. And then tie all this up again. This is so awkward. Whatever. Does the job. There we go. And like I said, this is only temporary until I can find a new home for this one. It's just like, I feel like I'm just over it a little bit as a whole plant. So that's fine. And then this one, if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Those are kind of the only two options it has. There we go. That also feels like a bit of a relief having done that. Gloriosum chop check. The 30 minutes is up, and so I'm just gonna pull all of these out and let them drain in the draining board for like as long as possible, honestly. This one honestly always scares me because it's got like fluffy white stuff in there, but I think it's just the same stuff that goes around the sort of spikes, but it looks like a different color, so it is constantly scaring me that it might have mealies. But I've never had mealies, so I don't really know. Oh my god, what if it is? I really hope it's not. It just constantly scares me. Like, I don't see any actual mealy bugs, which is the good thing. It's just the white fluff, which is characteristic of mealies, that it's kind of scaring me. So I'm actually going to pour this fertilizer water back into my watering can because it's perfectly good fertilizer water and I don't want to waste it. So now I can go in and put, oh actually, let me drain out these ones first, obviously. This one's always the hardest to get out. I don't think I've ever actually seen roots on this one. But look in there. There's so many roots. Oh, amazing. I feel like that just means we're healthy. Maybe these boobs will get less wrinkly now that I've watered it a little bit. And then the last one is this, but I'm gonna take this out once I pour the fertilizer water on these other ones because I leave it to drain out in the sink because it's freaking huge. So we can fill this guy up. With all of the little ones. Going with fertilizer water. rest of these, I'm going to use the cash pots that other things were in, just to give them somewhere they can easily soak and drain. I feel like at some point I probably want to take these ones in soil and put them in semi-hydro, just because it makes life so much easier. I just don't know when that day is, because I don't think it's today. I definitely can't be bothered to do it today. That's a whole session. If y'all want me to do like a repot and chat where I take, I know I've already done it, but I could do it again, where I take cacti and succulents that are in soil and move them into semi-hydro, let me know, and I can do that. Put the little cactus emoji and we can make that happen. And now we wait again. I'm gonna set another timer for another 30 minutes. Another thing I wanna do is take my philodendron Splendid out of the cabinet, just because I don't feel like it needs to be in here anymore, and it's growing like crazy. So I feel like I need to give it more moss pole. Like, look at that. It's like all the way up to the top. And just like so sturdy as a plant. It is so full. But in order for it to get bigger, I need to be able to have it keep going on the pole and be able to like keep rooting into that. Unfortunately, I don't think I have another one of these sort of honeycomb poles in this size. So I might need to get creative and kind of, maybe not DIY a moss pole, but figure out if I can kind of create one using the mesh stuff I have. And then obviously it's not gonna be able to fit in this, it's not gonna be able to fit in here if I'm putting an extension on the pole, I don't think. So we're gonna have to figure out somewhere else for it to go. I'm thinking maybe on the sideboard where I had that little bit of room, it might go. I think that makes sense. Though it does look kind of empty in here now without some sort of pole. So maybe I can put something else back. I could go double Monstera dubia maybe. Let me see if that fits before I get grand ideas. Does it fit? Oh, yes it fits. Okay. Heck yeah. And I'm pretty sure this dubia will like getting that little bit more light, because this grow light is on for like, ooh, I want to say 14, 15 hours a day. A long time, most of the day. And I think it will like that. I just need to make sure that I'm staying on top of the moss poles in here. But if this is in here, I will want to stay on top of the moss poles. So I can put this little guy back. This is my Anthurium SP Limon, which is not doing much, if anything, at the minute. I think it came out of like 100% humidity box and came into this world, which, I mean, the humidity is high, but it's not that high. It's 71%, so nothing close to the 100 it was at before. So it's getting used to this sort of new, less humid life. And then also, look, my silver blush has a little new leaf on it. I love how red they come in, and it's so like perfectly heart-shaped. So cute. So that one's doing really well. I'm here for that. I like that trade. And then this Splendid can go where the dubia was once we get some sort of moss pole contraption sorted for it. So let's do that. I found this in my stash of moss poles that I have deconstructed, and I feel like it's fairly similar in size to this one. I might need to cut off one rung of squares, but if this fits, that would be ideal. You know, if it might actually fit perfectly. This is exactly what I wanted. 2 different types of poles. It's gonna look weird and strange and not my ideal aesthetic, but I think it will do. I think it'll do. Yes, I am here for this. Okay. Got my trusted Soil Ninja stuff to fill up this pole, and I think it fits so perfectly that if I just fill this to the bottom, well, so I think I'm gonna use it upside down because normally I would do it this way with the gap at the bottom, but I don't want the gap, I don't think. Or would it be more stable if the gap is in there? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It'll go this way. It'll go this way much better, but I'll fill it all the way to the bottom, and that should be fine. I am gonna take a couple of these ties off though. Shift you down so you can see what I'm doing. I mean, not that you haven't seen me fill up like 1,000 moss poles before. I'm not gonna fill it all the way to the top because it's just harder to stay moist like that. Harder to keep it moist. So maybe just a foot or 25 centimeters or so. I think the one redeeming quality about using this pole is that it also has the sort of frosted back. Because it has that, it feels like it kind of matches. Like, obviously it's not perfect, but since this one's a frosted back and this one is also, I feel like they kind of match. Kind of. Because I'm not going to be able to secure it, putting it down as deep as possible is important. And I'm just not going to be able to lift it, at least for a while, from this top bit. I'll have to lift it from the bottom in order for it to not do really weird things and split unintentionally. Sick. I wonder if I could solder a hole into the side here just so I can somewhat secure it, because right now it feels quite like I can just lift this off, and I don't want to be able to do that because it feels sketchy like that. Let me see. Also, now this is really tall and doesn't balance on its own. Good. Let me see if I can solder it well enough to get it to work how I want it. Honestly, I didn't realize how often I would be using this freaking tool, but I use it so frequently, and it is so incredibly useful for stuff like this. You just have to be really careful not to like burn yourself. So that's where the hole is. I wonder if I can not burn myself, but solder through there and directly through the hole. Oh my goodness, that worked so well. Okay, I can do the same with the bottom. Whoa. Okay, this is perfect. Oh, I'm definitely not supposed to be inhaling melted plastic, but alas, here I am. Unplug immediately. But I might try and use a long zip tie just because it's easier to get through many layers potentially. Oh, actually, this is gonna be way harder than I thought it was, especially for those bottom holes. So close with this one. Haha. Maybe, I mean, it'd probably be easier if I came in from this side, but I mean, yeah. So much easier. Let's not make this hard work. It just doesn't look quite as nice coming in from that side. Oh, that side was way easy. Fully secure now. This is great. I mean, it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it works perfect for what I need it for. And then I can attach these so that they're on it well enough. There we go. So much more room for growing now. Maybe we can get it to size up a little bit. And it can go right there as well, which is perfect spot for it. I think it's gonna love it there. Can go there like that. Oh, yes, I'm here for that. So here for that. And I think it might be a little bit of an adjustment coming out of the cabinet, but my home isn't that different in humidity than the cabinet is, I don't think. I think it's probably like 65 in here, whereas it's 70 in the cabinet, so that tiny little change is probably not going to be any sort of big issue. But I think that looks perfect for what I need, and hopefully I can get those like gigantic Splendid leaves. That's the goal here, is to get those huge Splendid leaves. It has again been half an hour, so I'm just gonna go in and start getting all of these ones out of the fertilizer water and into the draining board so they can adequately drain. Quite lucky that these little airway tower pots fit perfectly in the draining board, because it makes it so easy to let them drain out. But it's only the 5 centimeter ones. The 7s don't fit, unfortunately. I feel like if I take this out, yes, I can fit some more in. That's sketchy there, but it's just gonna have to live like that. And then these guys can go there. This one's also really hard to get out of the pot. Haha. Ooh, we're really side heavy. I feel like this one definitely needs a repot soon. Big one drains in the sink. There we go. The entire cacti and succulent collection is nice and watered. I might leave them here like this, honestly, for a couple of hours, just because, I mean, I always say this, I want them to dry out a little bit more because I don't want them going back in, especially the ones in soil, super duper soaked, because they don't need to be that soaked inside of the cabinet. Excuse me, baby, down please. Down please. So, just found some tiny little spikes in my thumb. Can you see those? Which is, I mean, to be expected, but really annoying. Ha. I mean, in theory, tweezers are the right option for that. Hello, Cleo. Please don't mess up with the camera. Okay. So, we can take a couple more things off of the list. So, Splendid is done, and watering cacti is near enough done. I'm checking it off the list. And so now, I think I want to pot a whole bunch of Hoyas, because I've got a ton of Hoyas rooting in water at the minute, and you don't really need to leave a Hoya in water for that long, though I have been. So I've got a bunch of Hoyas that I want to put in some soil. So that's what we're gonna do now. And then after that, if I still have the energy to like continue on, might be the prop box reset, or I could leave that into a separate video. Also, Cleo, Cleo, you silly girl. Heyo, heyo, heyo. Right, so I've got my space set up here now. I'm using my like itty bitty potting mat because that will have to do, because I don't feel like pulling out my big one again. And I want to show you close up what I'm doing because it makes it a bit nicer. So the first one I want to do is my Hoya carry eye, because look at those roots. They're like so rooted in there. And I feel like it would benefit massively from being in a pot. and getting some nutrients from some soil. So I think a tall pot makes the most sense, so I can pot it like quite close to the bottom leaves. I think that makes the most sense for this one. Unfortunately, I don't have any anthurium and orchid soil, which is what I would normally use, so I'm going in with the Monstera and Philodendron, and I'll just try and pick the barkiest bits. I'm sure I could probably, excuse me, fungus gnat. I'm sure I could probably go in with some extra added bark if I wanted to, but I don't feel like it's absolutely necessary for this. They should be fine because the Monstera Philodendron mix is still quite chunky, just not as chunky. I might just need to be a little bit more careful on the amount that I'm watering them, just until they've become a bit more established. Cool beans, and hopefully I can get this one to give me some new growth at some point. It hasn't given me any since it's been in the water, but that's okay. There we go. Easy peasy. One down. A bunch to go. So I've got these like mixed cuttings in water that basically whenever I've received Hoya cuttings in recent times, I've just chucked it in this little thingy of water in hopes to get it to root, and it does look like some of them have rooted. So let me see what we have going on and separate them out a little bit. Oh, that's fun. Look at that one. Like, I think I can get roots to grow out of basically that entire stem bit there, which is awesome. And then, oh, I don't remember what that's called. I'll put it on the screen. This is a, oh gosh, oh my goodness, it's one of my favorites, and I can't remember. Crassiopetalata splash, duh, okay. And I have another plant of this, which I might want to put that directly in. This one is the Hoya thurstonii, and it's got some roots there. Got a little New Guinea ghost, again with the tiniest little roots. Ooh, I don't remember what this is. Some sort of splashy one. And then I've got a bunch of serpens cuttings that are brand new in here. So these are not going to be ready at all yet. But I think I could probably just put them in soil. That's what my friend who gave them to me said I could do. So let's pot these up and we will figure out where they go. So I might put this one, the Crassiopetalata, in the mother plant, but the rest of them can get little pots. Ideally, I'd put them all in these little airway tower pots because they are my favorite for this kind of thing, for tiny little plants like these, but I don't have any more, so guess that solves that problem then. I really feel like I need to give this Thurstonii a shower because I don't think it's supposed to have all that muck on it. I feel like it might be sulfur treatment actually. That must be what it is because it is a furry one. It's probably just got stuck in the hairs there. So I'll give it like a super thorough rinse in a little bit. I guess I am always really nervous putting something unrooted in soil, but I know people propagate in it all the time. It's just not my preferred method of propagation. So I might take the bottom leaves off of all of these cuttings just so I can get them a little bit deeper into the soil without the leaves going weird. That. So many little Hoyas. And then the New Guinea Ghost, which I think might be giving me the tiniest bit of new growth on there. Okay, so that's all of those little ones. And then I've got a second jar here with one begonia cutting in it, which is also heavily rooted. That does not need anything else. And I should probably pot that one up soon. I've got Hoya australis lisa, which is done absolutely nothing. Not sure. But pot these up as well because these have little itty bitty roots on them. And I might actually throw this australis lisa cutting away because my plant is plenty full and I don't feel like I need more at the minute. that's really awkward, but it should be fine. I just need to make sure that it's supported enough. Let me grab the Crassiopetulatus splash to put this cutting in. So this is what we're working with on this one, and I think I can probably, ooh, there's a dead leaf in there. I can probably just kind of dig a hole with my fingers. And pop it in. And then wind it around the trellis a little bit. There we go. Ever so slightly more full. Easy peasy. And this can go back on the shelf. I'm not sure where I want to put all these little guys. Because they're so ditty. And I feel like they're gonna need to be in a spot that gets a lot of care and probably a lot of light as well. And I want to water them. I'm feeling like the best place would probably be on the top of this cabinet here, because I can access it very, very easily, and this light is on so much. And they would get a little bit of humidity by being in here. So I think I need to clear out some of these. Maybe this one. I mean, this doesn't need to be at the top here. It's so big. So we can clear this out a little bit, make a little bit of room, and see if we can put all those little ditty Hoyas in this zone. Yeah, I mean, this thoroughly does not need to be in there. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my god. I'm obsessed. And it's so long. It just kind of goes on forever, man. Wow, okay. That one can maybe go down there. This can scoot over a bit. I don't need this orchid to be on the top here. That's doing really well. Sophie, if you're watching this, it's doing well. I don't know. I've made a little tray of all my Hoyas, and I even washed my Thurstonii in there. You can see it's not as spotty with the sulfur, and I'm hoping that I can just kind of put it in there. Okay, that fits so well. Fantastic. This guy also doesn't need to be in this zone. It's a bit tall. And this one, since it's a little bit bigger, I'm gonna use one of the little clips and put it like there. That should do. I don't think the carry can go in this zone. That's fine. But I can put this there, and then these back. And probably that one too. There we go. that looks good. That feels good. I just need to figure out where I want to put a couple of these things. So I think this is Paradoxica, or some sort of jungle cactus, and then this little Hoya here. I think I'm probably gonna end up taking them out of the cabinet and putting them on my plant shelves, which I think makes sense, but I really like all of these Hoyas up in that zone. I feel like that works really well for them, and I have really good access to them as well, which is super important. I suppose I definitely could have repotted this one now that I've got this here that I want to add in, but I might, let me grab my pond scoop, I might just add it in. Hopefully I don't break too many roots as I'm doing this. If I do, I'm so sorry, plant. I just want you to get deep enough in there. That'll have to do. And I can strap you in and put that back. I mean, I am glad I didn't put the Gloriosum in here because I do really like this begonia like this, and I think it's gonna fill out so nicely in time. Okay. Can tick some more stuff off the list. Potted up my Hoya carrii, those serpents cuttings, pot rando Hoya from cabinet, did that. The only thing left on this list is prop box reset, and I genuinely think it makes a bit more sense to do that in a separate video, and I really cannot be bothered to do it today. I've done so much good stuff and got like quite a lot done, and I feel like I'm slowly preparing for spring. We're getting there. Like, the weather's not quite there yet, but we are getting there, and hopefully in the next month or so we will be in full spring mode and can like watch the growth start to absolutely pop off. I don't think that I'm gonna wait for my cacti and succulents to be fully dry yet. They just take a while, especially when it's not that hot out. They just take a while to dry, and so I might let them have the afternoon outside of the cabinet and just not think about it until I need to go in there and like cook and wash dishes and stuff. So I'm not gonna end up showing you that, but if they just go back into the cabinet the way they were. So imagine my entire process of taking them out, but in reverse. That's it. Before I say goodbye though, I want to say a huge thank you to Michelle and Delcy for joining in on the Good Growing Fam over on Patreon. I really appreciate you being there. I hope that you love it. I hope that I see you in the live chat this weekend and we can get to know each other a little bit better over there. If anyone else is interested in joining my Patreon, it's £3 or about $4.50, about €4 or so per month, and for the same fee for everybody you get everything: bonus content, polls, live chats, access to the Discord server, more access to me in general, and generally a grand old time. So it's there if you want it. Absolutely no pressure if that's not something you're interested in. It just makes my life a little bit easier and helps me be able to make this sort of content for you all the frickin' time. So Thank you very much for joining in, Michelle and Delcy. And to the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. Don't forget to leave the cactus emoji if you want me to do another repot and chat putting more cacti and succulents into semi-hydro. I can make that happen, and subscribe for more. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!